All right, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is, I'll name this segment later, Spit That Grease with GTG, you know what I mean, I'm working on it. So, I want to talk to you guys actually, as if the title hasn't already given it away. I want to talk to you guys for a bit about something that I saw on Twitter, and it's making its rounds through certain FGC circles and whatnot, is these new ranks, these 3 new ranks, at least as of right now, that is coming to Street Fighter 6. So, as you guys know, you guys get the master rank, and unless you're in like the top, I think it's either 1500 or 2500, it's one of the two. Then you get into master rank with, you know, your characters respectfully. Well, as you guys know, people have been asking for additional ranks after master rank because not everybody's going to make it in the legendary, obviously. So, Capcom has finally started to listen, and so now they have given us 3 additional levels, which are going to be High Master, Grand Master, and Ultimate Master. So, and then we'll see how that adjusts legendary later. So, my question to you, for those of you who are Street Fighter heads, for those of you who watch Dark Dave Mirrors or Raw Phil in particular, for those of you who, you know, just enjoy watching DSP get beat up, how do you guys think this new ranking system is going to affect Darkside Phil? I'm just going to give you guys my hot take, and then I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comment section below. Let's go. So, what my initial thoughts are is bringing in 3 additional ranks is not going to help DSP initially. DSP floats somewhere between 15 and 16,000 MR. To be honest, I would have to say that's honestly what his cap is. That is the measure of his overall skill. Except that's not actually the overall advantage of his, the overall marking, or that doesn't define his skill. The reason why that is because DSP, as all of you know, if you guys have watched enough Raw Phil, you know how this works. When he goes up against strong opponents, we dip the fuck up out of there. We make sure our pig butt is out that bitch as quickly as possible. If we're going up against strong opponent or weaker opponents, then he tries to milk them for as much points as he can. Which is funny, because when Turkey Tom was milking him, he had a problem with it, but he doesn't mind milking other people in video games who are weaker than him. So that right there is really what it comes down to. So you have to make certain adjustments to what DSP's true skill level is. Truth be told, the only reason why he got to master rank, and if I'm the only one who has to stand on business on this, then I'm the only one who's going to stand on business on this. The only reason why DSP made it there is because he kept running his head into the wall long enough until he finally got there. Because truth be told, if you play Street Fighter 6 long enough, you will get to master rank. Don't let anybody tell you differently. I don't need a pro player to tell me that. I play. I know this. I'm not that great of a player, so I understand this and whatnot. Which is the point of doing it. The point of doing it is is not only to have you play and have you work towards something, but to have you keep playing. And as time goes on, as it's expected, the longer you do something, the better you'll get at it. Womp womp. But the better you're expected to get at it, and in turn, you'll gather enough points over a period of time to get there. Now, there has been talk of, does Capcom adjust points for certain stuff, kind of like SBMM in Call of Duty, skill-based matchmaking? Do they make adjustments like that for players and whatnot? I haven't seen anything on that in particular. There have been pro players who have felt like if you are a weak enough player, Capcom does give you a boost as it pertains to points, so on and so forth. If you're too strong of a player, you get less points, so on and so forth. Could be a thing. I've heard some pretty great arguments on the Street Fighter 6 Reddit and on R Kappa, who of different guys who have tried to measure that stuff out. Whatever. Either which way, how does this affect DSP overall? DSP, as you know, once he got to master rank with most of his characters, he ran to casual play, and that's it. Now, even though at this particular point, once you get to master rank, you can't be demoted. Once you're there, you're there. You can still lose points, but you can't be demoted out of master rank. Now that you have these levels that you have to go through, these 3 additional levels for you to climb to, I should say, because he was never going to go for legendary because he's not good enough. He's just, he doesn't have a grasp of the game that people think he does. What he's done is he has memorized and flowcharted what enough to where he can win, let's say 4 out of 10 times, and out of those 4 out of 10, he can get enough points to either appease his own greatness, or it was enough to get him into master rank. Now that you have these 3 additional levels to master rank, I don't see him doing very well, to be honest with you, because you've got guys who have been in master rank, in the upper rankings of master rank, for a while. Once this thing goes live, a lot of those guys are going to, unless everybody gets brought down to 1500, like everybody starts at 1500 cap and then you got to move back up, DSP is going to essentially be fighting with all the wolves. It's just like when he was in some of the lower ranks, especially like in Diamond and Platinum. He's going to be fighting against all the wolves. So like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he'll be able to scrape off a win from a scrub here and a scrub there, and, you know, someone that may have just gotten in the master rank. He may be able to do that for a while, but unless there is some type of skill point adjustment type thing, almost like a skill-based matchmaking, but that's not what I'm going to call it, that's what I'm referring to. Unless they have something along those lines for people who are already in master rank that will allow them to move upwards, he's probably going to be stuck at master. He may get stuck at master for, I would say, the majority of time. He might get the high master. We'll see. Grandmaster, maybe. I don't see him getting into ultimate master. It depends on what the It understands what the point gauge is going to be for those 3 new rankings, respectively. And Capcom saying they're talking about expanding upon that later on down the line. On top of that, they also are going to be able to master rank is going to be given a color, right? Once you achieve that particular rank, which will signify you as you'll be able to equip that color to whatever character you're using, and that right there will define your rank or whatnot, which is kind of neat, to be honest with you. I think they call them master rank rewards, and I think that right there is an initiative that they should have had for people who are going into master rank anyway. To be honest, actually, you should have something from all the way from your beginning rank all the way up to master. There should be like a special costume or color scheme or whatever to help signify you to that. I mean, I understand that you can have the little calling cards and all that, but having having like 2 or 3 rewards for each rank, I think would have been much more significant, especially as it pertains to a player color. That's just my opinion, of course. I think I've made my point in particular for those who have given me a chance to listen to me, that DSP is not good at Street Fighter. He's not. Street Fighter 6 kind of really proves it. Most people believe that it's probably one of the more user-friendly, newcomer-friendly Street Fighter games that's ever even happened. One of the big arguments was Street Fighter 4 incredibly user-friendly, or was Street Fighter 6 user-friendly? And there's some great arguments back and forth. DSP wasn't shit in Street Fighter 4 either, to be honest. He's really not much better in Street Fighter 6. He's not willing to look outside of himself to allow himself to get better. Whenever DSP is beaten, whenever he is humiliated, whenever he is humbled, his first argument is, you guys don't know Street Fighter. You guys don't understand fighting games, and that's what he holds on to, and that's that. Just holding on to past glory to try to justify his existence currently in the hopes that things get dumbed down or watered down even further so he can show his greatness in the future. The reality is the world doesn't work that way. Even as user-friendly as Street Fighter 6 is, if he hasn't grasped the basics, which he doesn't have, just because he can emulate some combos, just because he can string some hits together, does not make him good, ladies and gentlemen. It just doesn't. Because if you really think about it, he has a very distinct set of skills that he tries to apply to everything, to every matchup, to every fight, to all of that. And it doesn't work that way. Street Fighter hasn't worked that way in a very, very long time. The fact that, let me give you an example. You could have 10 of us, 10 of you that are listening could play Ryu or Ken or whoever. And it is very possible, it's very plausible, that out of the 10 of you, 30% of you are going to play differently from the rest of the bunch. Matter of fact, I'll break it down even further. If we just work the percentages, out of 10 of you, 9 of you are going to play, well, actually, 3 of you will play a certain type of way, let's say heavy fireball zoning. Another group of you, another 30% will probably play very close up and personal, and the other 40% will be like a hybrid of the two and whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it works. Street Fighter, not everybody plays Street Fighter or a particular character in Street Fighter the exact same way. That was the meme against fucking low tier God in Street Fighter 5. He used to get mad at people who would play a particular character in a way differently than what he's seen the pros play. And the reason why is because he's another one with a fucking negative fucking temperature IQ. He believes, oh, everybody watched the pro players and everybody emulates them. So what he did is he watched the pro players and he would condition himself with the character in particular that he was using, even though low tier God made an account for basically every character he played. I'll give him that much. To compete against the pro level, someone who's fighting at a pro level. Not realizing or not understanding that everybody might take what they see from a pro player, a Justin Wong, a Knuckle Dew, whoever, and they may not be able to emulate that. So they'll take parts of it, and then they'll go off that, and that fucked LTG completely up. It completely screwed him over because he thought, okay, if I can figure out how a pro player plays a particular character, everybody else should be dead weight, and I should be able to breeze through them. That's not how it works. Individuality is very, very important in a game that allows creativity. That's why he would complain about flowchart type players, pattern players, because he is one. Low tier God is a flowchart player. He is a pattern player. So is DSP. DSP is worse off because whereas low tier God is willing to pick up the patterns and flowcharts of the current games in the quote unquote current meta, DSP is not. If he can't emulate what the pro players are doing, he'll take what little he can grasp, and then he'll fall back to some shit he ain't saw 20 years ago in a game that came out, in a Street Fighter game that came out 10 generations ago. And then he'll do that. DSP does not have the fundamentals that some of you guys think he does. DSP does not have the reactions or reflexes that some of you guys think he does. He does not have the character knowledge nor matchup knowledge or just game mechanic understanding that most of you guys think he does. End of story. It's the reason why DSP has played on 3 different platforms and has failed on all 3. If anything, the only thing that he has proven is that his failure is consistent over those 3 platforms. Xbox, PlayStation, PC. He pretty much floats right around where he floats on all 3 platforms. That right there is his cap, and he'll never break past it because he can never get past himself. End of story. So unless there is some type of skill adjustment with the implement of these 3 new levels to Master rank, he may get past Master. Well, he's in Master now. He may get to, here, let me pull it, I'm sorry. He may get into High Master, and he might even get into Grand. He probably will never get the Ultimate. I don't even know if he'll actually get the Grand Master. I think that's going to be a struggle. Not unless we go back to 4 days a week of Street Fighter 6. Other than that, that's going to be a struggle. That's not unless he falls. He literally can harvest and or farm all of the weakest players possible in Master rank to boost him up to high rank, and then pray that he can get the same type of cannon folly that will help boost him up to Grandmaster. After that, there's no way. Unless there's just a large quantity of weak players, it's not going to happen. Because especially at this point, there isn't too much that DSP can bring to the table that people haven't seen. Now, he doesn't play like your typical, Dazim player, Blanca player, E Honda, none of that. He's very much, he's like a blind slugger, to say the least. He is very much a pattern player and a flowchart player. It's not hard to figure out DSP. Because truth be told, DSP is just trying to react to you. So you can literally catch him in the traps. You can catch him in flanks. There's a lot of shit you can do. You can condition DSP very, very fucking easily. To be honest, if you have an understanding of the game itself, the character and the mechanics, you can definitely get DSP into a spot. It's just a matter of you conditioning him to get there. If DSP is willing to play long rounds with you, or not long rounds, but long sets, you'll figure them out within 10 matches if you get that. You could probably figure them out in 5, to be honest with you, depending on your skill level and your understanding. So that's my initial thoughts on that. I will leave a link to the video down in the description that I also saw. It's like a minute and a half or whatnot. And, you know, so this way you guys can get a brief look at it. You know, big ups to the guy who made the video. And once it's implemented, we'll see if DSP gets hype about it. I've seen a lot of guys, like I said, already in the FGC that are pretty happy about it. They have questions, as we all do. And when will more ranks come about? And to be honest, and I said this on Reddit, I think that I think what they need to do is they need to redo the whole like ranking system anyway. I think each different level should branch off into 3 additional levels, just like what you're seeing here. And then you can elevate to the next rank. So let me give you an example really fast, and then we'll close out. I don't want to hold you guys up too much longer. So like I said, with this new master rank, you got master rank, which is base, and then you have a high rank. You have high master, grand master, ultimate master. I think honestly they should redo the rankings, and each level of rank should do the exact same thing, to be honest. And then you should get a reward for each one of those, and then move from there. To be honest with you, I really think that would help. This way, it doesn't seem like some of these new players are kind of just skating by, right? They're not just falling through the cracks without actually learning the fundamentals of the game. I think they should do it that way. Or you could even build upon that and be like, okay, what if let's say you go from one rank to the other and it branches out, but it gives you an option. Hey, if you don't want to go through these 3 ranks, you can go through that first rank, and then you can go into this set of matches here. If you can win 5 matches, you can skip that second part of the branch rank and go to the third. If you let's say you've done that and it brings you to that third branch, and let's say you don't want to do that. Let's say you're ready to go ahead and play another 5 more matches. If you can win all those matches consecutively, then you can just go up to the next rank. They can do that too. You know what I'm saying? And it gives you the option. But for everybody else who wants to take their time and really get that understanding, that might be a way of going about it. Now, that's just me though. That's just something that I thought about. I've been thinking about it for a while. And I think it would be kind of neat, but yet again, you would have to revamp the entire system to do it. I don't know how many people would be willing to do it. I think new people would be. I think people who are already established probably won't. But that's just me. In any case, what are your thoughts? How do you guys feel about it? You know, what do y'all think? How do you guys think DSP is going to, you know, rank up? Or how is he going to measure up, if you will? Like I said, unless there's some type of real point adjustment, I don't see him making it. He may make it to high rank, but you know, grand or ultimate, I don't know. That's gonna be a tough one. That's gonna be a tough one. I feel like you know, Hate Army, or sorry, oh yeah, Hate Army's in there too, I think. But I think people like Raw Phil, Hate Army, Piece of Peace, guys like that will elevate and be in those rankings before DSP is. But that's just me. We'll see. In any case, I'm looking forward to it and whatnot. You guys might actually see some match footage. You know what I'm saying? This is how you don't play GTG edition or some shit. That might be a thing you guys see in 2025. You never know. You never know. You're just starting. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of time for me to humiliate myself. In any case, thank you guys very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. I'll name this segment later, and I'll holler at y'all later. Take care of yourselves, people. Later.